Hello everyone, Giltar here with another Gundam model review. This time it will be of the high-grade Universal Sentry 1:144 scale MS-05L Zaku I sniper type. Now, this isn't the first time we've seen this sort of design in the high-grade Universal Sentry lineup. The first Zaku I model in that line was just simply the Zaku I MS-5B. I believe Bandai released that in May of 2006. It was fairly quickly followed up by a repaint. The second version of that figure, or model rather, came out as the Black Tri-Stars color version. And then in November of that year, the Zaku I sniper type was released. So basically, within half a year's time, we see three versions of the same basic mold get released. Definitely, a lot of people are thinking, well, yeah, that kind of sucks. It's one of those typical strategies to reuse a mold to make more money. You're basically putting out repaints. And I guess that's kind of true with the Black Tri-Stars version, because it is basically, as far as I understand, a repaint of the Zaku I. The accessories are the same, the actual mold is the same for the model, so you're not really looking at anything more than, I believe, a simple repaint. Now, I do have the Black Tri-Stars version of the model. I don't have the Zaku I original paint version. I do plan on picking that up at some point. I haven't assembled the Black Tri-Stars version yet, but I'm going to give that a try probably in the next couple of weeks. Now the thing is, though I spoke of earlier where it's kind of like one of those money-making moves to reuse a mold repeatedly, I believe with the Zaku I sniper type, it's something that is not exactly true, because we're not just reusing the mold, we're actually upgrading and retooling it. Well, where do you see that come in? Basically, you're looking at the knee stand or knee brace that you can see right here. It's a part that is able of it does have articulation. You can either fold it out as you see it right now, or later on I'll show it when it's standing up. You can sort of fold it back up and make it more compact. It'll become another kneecap. Another point of difference are the accessories. You have the beam sniper rifle and the large backpack. Another mold difference in the design of the model, which isn't immediately apparent, is the head. The main points of difference on the head are basically the side antenna is something that's new to this sculpt, this mold, and another difference is the mono eye component is different. Actually you can slightly move it up and down, and it also comes with a clear plastic bit that you can either put a sticker over, or what I've done is I've painted it with a combination of Tamiya clear paints. I used some yellow and just a tiny dab of red to make sort of a yellowish, or rather an orangey red or orangey yellow hue. I also put on the sniper rifle itself, where you can see here, it's a clear piece. I painted it with Tamiya's clear green paint. Again, a sticker comes with it that you would put underneath before you put in the clear plastic bit, but I do believe that when you can, paint over clear plastic pieces, because it adds extra depth, whereas a sticker more often than not flattens it, and at best it just provides a bit of color, and it's inferior. It's not too bad. You can invest a couple of dollars in some clear paints and they'll last you probably a lifetime, because you won't have to use them that much. Another thing about the head sculpt is that, I'll just move this out of the way, is that you probably can't make it out on my camera, but on the temples there are molded Vulcan cannons. It's something that you would normally see on Gundam mobile suit designs. So that's another point of difference in the head sculpt. So at a glance, the head sculpt looks just like any other Zaku I design, but when you get closer, and if you actually put together the model kit, you will see there are some significant differences in the parts that are required for its assembly. Now I'll fold up the knee here, and as you can see, it basically becomes a kneecap. I guess you could probably put it a little higher if you wanted to, like that, I guess. So it's pretty neat. I like that fact that it's kind of like something specific to the Zaku sniper design. I don't recall seeing a knee brace on any other model kit, but maybe the GM sniper has one. I'm not too sure. I don't have it, but I'd like to track it down. As I've said before, I'm a big fan of mass production kits, or designs rather, so I'd like to get every sort of GM, Zaku, and all these other mass production mobile suits from Gundam at some point. That's my sort of one goal for my collecting, is just get all the mass production units. I think the hero designs are pretty cool, the hero mecha, but there's just something about the character of the mass production units that I like. Now the backpack itself is removable. As I mentioned earlier, it is something that's unique to this version of the Zaku I. It does have like sort of jet thrusters, rocket thrusters on the bottom, but they don't possess articulation. It is composed of several pieces. At first, it does look pretty plain, but because it's one big block essentially. But the thruster assembly has three components. It's one thruster, the second thruster, and the back plate. These black parts actually come in two pieces. There's one back here. There's one for the side here. The backpack itself is of two pieces that you have to snap together, and the side hose assembly is three pieces. You have the hose and the two sort of components, the heads of the hose there. One cool thing about the hose is that you can actually detach it from the side. It'll probably, like that, and you can plug it into the side of the beam sniper rifle. There's a circular port up here that you can plug this into, which is neat. It's similar to the, I guess, concept of the GM sniper with its own external power source. One drawback is, though, this rubber hose, well, it's rubber. It's a copper wire that's sheathed in a rubber tube, which you put a sort of fabric sock type of sheath over it, which is great for visuals, but it just doesn't hold in very well, so you have to be careful with it. Sometimes it will fall out on its own, unless you secure it by glue or something else. But it's not too bad. I mean, what can you do at this scale? It's very difficult to make something that's that secure. The one thing I really like most about this backpack unit, though, is the fact that it really resembles the proton pack from Ghostbusters, so I really like that aspect of this design. The other accessory that we're going to be looking at is the beam sniper rifle. Kind of like the Zuda's 135mm anti-ship rifle, I think the Zaku I Sniper Type's beam sniper rifle is a really nice accessory. First of all, for size, really, it's got a large, hefty feel to it. It's a big sniper rifle. It evokes that design aesthetic. It's nice details to it, though. At first it is easy to sort of overlook it because the main body of the rifle, the frame, is really made up of just this sort of tan or beige plastic. So it's not easy to see the details until you either do extra painting and highlighting, or at least use some panel line accents to bring out the details. Another thing I like about the sniper rifle is the fact that it comes with this sort of black or dark gray plastic cable. You attach it to the rifle body at one point here, one point there, and another point back here through pegs, and the rifle body has circular ports that you plug these into. I think it adds an extra level of dimension and depth to the physicality of this rifle accessory. Bandai didn't have to do it. They could have easily molded in just sort of a structure of a cable that lies flush with the body of the rifle and left it at that, but they decided to include it as a separate plastic piece. So I really appreciate these types of design touches, and I really like seeing them because that basically hints to me, at least implies to me, that Bandai can and is able to implement these sort of design touches in the 1 to 144 scale models. So I think that if we see it happen once or twice, it means we can see it happen again in the future. So here's hoping that we see more sort of higher level of design detail and accessories. Another component is, like, I don't know how well you can see it, but back here at the back of the scope to the back of the body or the frame of the rifle, there's a short plastic hose that attaches it, so that's pretty neat. Again, as we saw earlier, the scope comes with a clear plastic piece that I painted over. There's a side scope with slight articulation too, so that's nice. Now, in terms of the hands or fists that comes with this model, we have a right trigger finger hand that you can use for the rifle. It can also be used on the Zaku I machine gun that comes with this, and I believe this is the same design that comes with the Zaku I and the black TriStar color version. So you have a hinged side grip, hinged side scope sight, and then a side-mounted ammo drum. Pretty basic, not the greatest thing in the world, but actually I think I like this better than the Zaku II machine gun. I just like the look of this. It's a little more looks a little more utilitarian. The other one kind of looks a little fancier with the top-mounted drum, and I don't know. I just like the simpler design behind the Zaku I machine gun. So that concludes part 1. I'll be back in part 2 to go over articulation and some final thoughts, including some pros and cons of this model. So thanks for watching.